Man, ain't you supposed to be a movie critic? Why you ain't review Baywatch, man? You supposed to be reviewing all movies. Let me tell you something. I work hard for the little bit of money that I do make, okay? I'm not at the place yet where I can just burn money and watch every movie that comes out, okay? I work hard for my shit, so yeah, I'm selective about what I go to see. So we had Baywatch drop this weekend, and I was tempted on going to see it, but I said, you know what? Movies are expensive now. Like, it's $11 now to go see a damn movie, okay? So if I'm gonna take my hard-earned money that I made to go see something, I want to see something that I know that I'm gonna get something out of it, okay? I know I wasn't excited for the Alien Covenant movie, but at the same time, it is an Alien movie. It's part of the franchise. I do have some love for it, so I know I was gonna get some enjoyment out of it. So I said, I'm not gonna waste $11 watching a piece of shit remake of a 90s show that I didn't care about even at that time. Okay, so nah, I ain't reviewing Baywatch. Sorry. Transformers, hell no. First one was good. Revenge of the Fallen was bullshit. Dark of the Moon, fuck you. Okay, and I just care not to see another Transformers film ever again. So no, I'm not going to be reviewing Baywatch or Transformers. But what I do have for you today is my top 10 list of all-time favorite summer movies. So I decided to do this list because, you know, summertime is a special time when it comes to movies. You know, I had a lot of great experience as a child growing up and all the way up into adulthood watching and enjoying great summer blockbuster films. Not just the blockbuster films, but then, you know, just films in general that comes out in the summertime. So being that we're entering into the summer season, we've already had Guardians, we've had Alien Covenant, Wonder Woman drops this weekend, which I'm excited about. I can't wait to check that shit out. So summer season is here, and I decided to give you my top 10 best summer movie experiences. Now, don't get me wrong, these films are not considered like the greatest films ever, but these are just the summer movies that I've had great experiences when I went to go see them in the theater. And some real notable mentions that I want to make. Well, a special notable mention, two of them, is the original Jaws and Star Wars, which I wasn't born when those movies came out, so I can't put them in the top 10 because I did not go to see them in the theater. But those are two films that I really loved, and they really kicked off the summer blockbuster, you know, tradition. Okay, so I gotta give those two movies a quick shout out because they are very special films, and if it wasn't for those two movies, we wouldn't have summer blockbusters at all. So big ups to Jaws, big ups to Star Wars, Lucas and Spielberg. Y'all my heroes for life. So at number 10, we have Deep Blue Sea. Yeah, not a great movie, not even a really good movie, but at the time, this was a really good popcorn film. I went to see this with a bunch of family. We saw it at a theater, and it was a good experience because it was fun. There were parts that we jumped, we were scared, we laughed. We just had an overall good time in that movie. Yeah, the CGI doesn't really hold up now, but at the time when it came out, it was cool. And it was cool to see the brothers survive at the end, where LL survived at the end of the movie and didn't get eaten by the shark. I thought that was huge. But of course, the scene where Samuel Jackson gets chomped up, that part, like, I damn near jumped out of my seat when I saw that for the first time.
So we're not going to fight anymore. We're going to pull together and we're going to find a way to get out of here. First, we're going to seal off this movie.
Alright, so yeah, Deep Blue Sea, number 10. Number 9. Now, hear me out. Don't trip on me for this, okay? But because this is not a good movie, it's not, but before this movie came out, there was so much hype, there was so much anticipation. The buildup was intense, and it was hyped up so much that even after watching the film, many people thought it was better than it actually was, and that is Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace. Building up to this movie, it was a year of trailers, teasers, merchandise. Dude, I even bought the soundtrack. I bought the John Williams score to this movie. Okay, I had the Darth Maul action figure. I had the Darth Maul comics. You know what I'm saying? I bought the t-shirts. I was so hyped for this film. And when I watched it, I went to see this opening night. I saw it on Thursday night. Me and my pop went to see this, man. And the energy was so intense in that theater. Like everybody was just so happy to see Star Wars back, and it was a good time. And this is one of the few movies that I've ever watched that I went to go see several times again. I think I saw Phantom Menace a total of 5 or 6 times. No, 6 times. Yes, I saw Phantom Menace 6 times in the theater, but mostly because of Darth Maul. And I wish I had a remote at the time in the theater so I could fast forward through the whole movie and just get right to the Darth Maul lightsaber scene, because that shit was on point. Number 8 is the original Tim Burton Batman. Now, just like I said, 99 was the summer of Star Wars. 89 was the summer of Batman. It was Batman mania like crazy. Like Star Wars, there was a lot of build up to the movie. There was a lot of merchandise. I had the comic book adaptation of the movie, which I have somewhere. I had the novel version of the movie. I had the action figures, the shirts. Like, dude, it was Batman mania that summer. It was all about the Dark Knight and, of course, the Joker, played by Jack Nicholson, who pretty much stole the show. And yeah, Batman doesn't hold up really to the Chris Nolan Batman movies, but for its time, it was the shit. Okay, it was one of the most anticipated movies of that summer, and it did deliver. Even though it's kind of corny watching it now because it's a little camp, like it's got Tim Burton written all over it, but it's still a fun movie to watch, and I have love for this film. Number 7, Lethal Weapon 2. Now, going into Lethal Weapon 2, I had seen the first one on HBO. I was somewhat of a fan. Not really excited about this one. My pop took me to see it, and it was a great experience. Like, it was just a total blend of action, comedy, and even some sadness, because at the end, everybody thought Riggs was going to die. And come to find out, in the original script, they were supposed to kill Riggs, but because the studio wanted to make more sequels, they decided to keep him alive. But yeah, Lethal Weapon was like just a perfect mixture of everything, man, and the audience was into it. And I tell you what, there's nothing like going to see a film and you have a whole audience, man, and everybody's into the movie, everybody's loving the movie. Like, that's one of the best experiences. And Lethal Weapon 2, I had that experience with, and that's why it is my favorite of the series. At number 6 is What We Do in Life Echoes in Eternity. That was a horrible Russell Crowe. But yes, Gladiator, 2000s Gladiator, great film. Leading up to the movie, I expected it to be great. I expected it to be epic, and it delivered. It did everything that I expected it to do, and it was just a great summer film. I went to see this, and once again, the crowd was into it. It was a great revenge tale, and I'm a sucker for revenge tale movies. I love revenge movies, and this one is definitely one of the top revenge movies of all time. At number 5 is The Dark Knight, Chris Nolan's second film in the Batman franchise, and holy shit, this movie was the shit. What can I say about The Dark Knight that I haven't said before? Like, it's on my list of top superhero films of all time. It was a great experience watching this in the theater with a crowd, and Heath Ledger's performance like floored everybody. It was just a great experience, man. Like I said, there's nothing I can say about this film that I haven't already said. Dark Knight is definitely one of the top summer movies of all time. Number 4 is the original Robocop. This was a funny story, okay, because I didn't see any trailers for Robocop. I saw a couple of TV spots where they were advertising the movie, and I just thought it was a movie about a robot cop. I thought it was just like regular sci-fi robot cop movie. Him solving crimes, not solving crimes, but fighting crime and shit like that. And my pop thought the same thing. My pop thought it was like a superhero kid-friendly movie. And so we went to go see it, and because I was 7 years old when this movie dropped. I was about 7 years old, and the first scene where Ed 209, remember when Ed 209 shot that motherfucker on the table, and there was blood and stuff all over the place. And my dad kind of looked at me and he said, "Man, I don't think this is a kid's movie," but we sat through it anyway, and wow, what an experience! What an experience, because it was something that I wasn't expecting. I didn't know anything about the movie, and that's why to this day I don't like to watch a lot of trailers to stuff that I want to see. Like I didn't watch the last Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. Like I seen that one trailer, it gave away too much. And when the trailer gives away too much, you already know what to expect, and that's why when you do watch it and experience it, it's not the same. So RoboCop is a good example of not knowing anything about the movie. Then when you watch it and it was just so epic. And I tell you what, I like I said, I love revenge tales, but I think that RoboCop is probably the best revenge movie of all time because the way he got them dudes back that killed him was the most brutal shit. Like the death with the dude with the acid, that was probably the most gruesome death ever put on screen.
Okay, now I gotcha.
Yeah, RoboCop had the best revenge kills ever. So definitely love RoboCop. I still watch it to this day, man. Love it, man. I had the action figures. I had the video game. It was tight watching it with a crowd. Yeah, definitely one of the top summer movies of all time. Okay, we winding down, y'all. Winding down. Number 3. Okay, top 3 now. Number 3 is Spielberg's Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park. When that shit came out, man, it was so mind-blowing because this is when CG was really taking off. And I tell you what, the effects in that movie was so good. Like, Jurassic Park was made in 93. The effects, a lot of the effects in that movie look better than Jurassic World. I said that before, like, and they used mostly practical effects. I mean, they used some CG, but they blended it with the practical so well that those dinosaurs look real. That T-Rex looked real as shit. And that's why it was scarier than Jurassic World. But I guess it's kind of unfair to compare the two because you're never gonna get a iconic fucking like just experience like the first Jurassic Park because nothing like that has ever been done before on film. It was groundbreaking. It was a pioneer, man, and you're not going to get that again. I don't care how good they try to make these new Jurassic World movies. You're never going to top what that first Jurassic Park did. So yeah, JP1, definitely up there, man. Great experience, scary, funny, all that shit wrapped into one. Okay, we winding down now. So these two, I flip-flop. I'm like, okay, well, which one is, but tough decision, but I had to really think about it and you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I'm gonna stick with my guns. I think I made the right choice here. Number 2 is the original Marvel's The Avengers. And I talked about this in my all-time favorite comic book movies of all time. Great film, first of its kind, where you have all these superheroes together in one film. Everybody gets their moment to shine. And it was a great experience in the theater. I saw this shit in IMAX, and it looked beautiful. And I love this movie, man. This was a perfect summer popcorn movie that was actually a great movie, not just a special effects extravaganza. It was actually a really good fucking movie. So now we get to number 1, the illest, the best summer film of all time, the best summer experience of all time. Not just best movie, but just one of the best summer experiences is Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Now, you talk about Arnold movies. I don't even consider this to be an Arnold movie, even though Arnold is the headliner of the film. But no, I'm not going to say it's an Arnold movie because when you talk about an Arnold movie, it's all about Arnold Schwarzenegger's character and how everybody else fits into his character because it's his movie. But no, this film was so much more than that. This film was about mankind. It was about Armageddon. It made you think about when man tries to play God and the consequences of that. It's about family. It's about loyalty. It's about redemption. You know what I'm saying? Sarah Connor's redemption. And it was just so many layers to this film that was great, man. James Cameron is one of the best to do it, man. I wish he would do a lot more stuff because I love his films. And the T-1000, like, I talked about how JP1 really set the mark for special effects and CG. But Terminator 2 was the first one to really put CG on the map. Like, dude, how the hell did they do that with the T-1000? Like nothing like that has ever been seen, well, except for The Abyss, kinda. Yeah, a little bit, kinda. But still, the stuff that they was able to do with the T-1000 in that movie, like I still consider him one of the best screen villains of all time. Even though he didn't say a whole lot, like he was menacing, he fucked Arnold up on many occasions, and yeah, this is almost like damn near flawless film. So that's my top 10 summer films of all time, summer experiences. Thank you for watching as always. What's your top 10? Comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoy your summer, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Can't wait to do Wonder Woman, man. That didn't come out right. Can't wait to review Wonder Woman for you all. So this is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.